In this video, we're going to go over 4 different resources. I'm going to just hop right into this video. The first resource I want to share with you is the YouTube channel for Mr. Dana Morse. He is our regional rep for Texas Instruments. He's in charge of Pennsylvania and New York. He's a phenomenal resource, and since the pandemic, he's developed a YouTube channel with a bunch of different videos. I suggest you get there and you subscribe. So let me show you how to get there. I'm going to just go to YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and type in Dana Morse. And when I go ahead and hit enter, I'm looking for his logo there. You can go ahead and subscribe, which I highly suggest that you do. If it brings you here and you don't see a lot of videos, that means you just need to click on where it says videos, and you will see that he has a ton of videos that you can review. They're great resources. He talks about press to test and how to exit press to test. He talks about coding, a lot of different things that can be done on there. Some other really neat things is he'll go through some of the New York State Regents side by side with the Nspire and the 84. So a phenomenal collection of resources. Again, I suggest you come here, go ahead and log into YouTube and subscribe to his channel. Phenomenal resources. The next resource I want to share with you, and this is a great way for you to brush up on some of your skills, but also they're good videos that you could actually give to the students to review prior to lessons so they can kind of get a sense of how to do things on the calculator prior to coming into class. It's the Hoonuit collection on Texas Instruments website. So what I did is I went to education.ti.com, and then I'm just going to go in the search bar, and I'm going to search Hoonuit and then the word tutorials. And that'll bring this right to the top of the list. So it's not this tutorials, because you'll see that's for the CBL, but you'll see right here it says tutorial videos from Hoonuit. If I click on it, it has tutorial videos on both 83 and 84, which I'm not going to focus on today, but I am going to show you the TI Nspire. So in the TI Nspire video series, they have stuff for both the Nspire and the Nspire cast. And then they will also have videos on how to use the navigator. Both great videos to watch. You know, you're drinking your morning coffee, might be good to check out a couple videos here and there. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you go there. When you click on the actual calculators, you'll notice that they break it out. If you're somebody who has the iPad app, which I have, I'm not a big fan of because it works very different from the actual calculator, but it's there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this first one. Once it loads the player, you'll notice that it gives you a collection of videos, and it actually breaks them out in categories. So here's just the basics: using the scratch pad, changing the page layout, things like that. Then you come down, and what does it look like when you're using the graphs and geometry, how to draw basic shapes, even up to differential equations. Then you can scroll down, list and spreadsheets, data and statistics, and then the calculator page. And then last but not least, we got some data collection stuff. So if you have any of the probes and your Nspires are being used in your science classes, this is a good thing to use. This is where I would send the science teachers. Or if you're collecting data for analysis in math class, this is the video series you'd want to watch. So just on a whim, let's see the symbols palette. So I'm going to click on that. It has the script down below. It'll actually read the script out loud for the students. So for students who have maybe some processing issues, this is good because they can see it and they'll be able to hear it. If they go ahead and they click play, so you get the idea. Nice. If they want to make it full screen, they obviously can, and they can watch the video and work alongside on their calculator. The next thing we're going to look at is the activities exchange on Texas Instruments website. I'm going to go back to education.ti.com. You'll see it up here. Here's the activities you can see for 84, Math Inspired. If you wanted to type in the search, you can, but the best bet is to just come here to activities. You can go to all classroom. I prefer to do the Math Inspired because I know that's for the Nspire, and it'll kind of sort things through based on your subject. So if you go ahead and you click on it, you can see some different ideas within algebra. So if you want to kind of maybe practice looking at equations, it'll give you a collection of these that can be downloaded. If you have the navigator, you can share it with students and they can work on it right on their calculator. Or maybe it's something you put up on the board and you use it as a guided activity to work through together. But that's more of a pedagogical decision that you make as the teacher. But there are a lot of resources and activities to be used. All you'll do is you'll go ahead and download it. It will give you this activity. It tells you over here for the Nspire CX, CX2, and it's good for the navigator. I'm not going to get too far into it, but it's good to know that this resource exists. The last thing I wanted to show you was JMAP. You can use the TI Nspire for assessment purposes. So if you wanted to create tests, you don't have to work very hard at it. What you can actually do is go to JMAP, and along the left, if you go to Regents exams, you can go ahead and click there. So I'll do that. And then if you'll notice, let me zoom in a little bit because I'm sure it's pretty difficult to see this. You'll notice that every exam has what's called a TNS file. That TNS file is the file that you could download and share with your students. So you could actually take that, again, if you have the navigator, you could push it out to the students. And I've seen a lot of teachers use this in the following way. The exam for algebra, 28 questions, plus your part 2, 3, and 4. The teacher will say, all right, you're going to go home and you're going to practice some questions from the Regents, come in and enter the answers into the TNS file when you enter the door. When they do that, the teacher then collects it and is able to quickly review the data to see if students understood or what questions they didn't understand so they knew which ones to go over in class. I've seen teachers use it as a focal point for discussion in terms of trying to defend your answer type of activity, which is phenomenal to see. So there's a few different ways that you can use those assessments. So again, these 4 resources are pretty helpful. You can be used in a bunch of different ways. Some research on your own through Mr. Morse's YouTube channel or the Hoonuit video series. You can use the different activities and the assessments on JMAP to kind of investigate the math or just assess the math. So great collection of resources.